Good everyone, and welcome to this video, and today it's a review technically on 2 aircraft, but I'm only going to cover 1 in a battle. These are the two DO-217K and the M models. These are the bomber variants. Well, 2 of them. There's actually 4 bomber variants. There's the E models, and then there's the K and the M. The K doesn't really change much from the E. It has the same engines, doesn't come with a 20mm because of the glass nose, but carries the same bomb load and can also carry torpedoes, which I'll show on the M model. The maximum bomb load on all DO-217 bombers is 1,000 kilo. You've got 2 bombs here and 2 bombs in the bomb bay. Very, very good bombs. I absolutely love them. They are fantastic for tank RB. They're fantastic for busting bases, and most importantly, they're fantastic for killing tanks on Sicily, which is what we're going to do in the K for our battle. Armament-wise, these things are pretty weak. The K has a twin 7.92, I'll say maneuverable turret, but it's not really that much on the turn. It can't depress much, it can't elevate much, but it's there. And personally, I prefer these two 7.92s. You then have a single 13mm machine gun right here. You also have 2 side blisters containing 2 7.92 MG81s and a single lower turret with a 13mm. This is quite weak defensive armament, and it's because these bombers were mainly used in night raids, so you can sort of understand why the weak defensive armament is a thing. It's similar to the Lancasters and the Halifax bombers, as well as the Sterling as well. That was, well, to be fair, the Sterling was a pile of shit, so. And it is a War Thunder, so that kind of makes sense. But on the K, you get 2 BMW 801 D14 cylinder radials. Pretty powerful engines, I'm not going to lie. This thing gets along nicely, it moves nicely, it turns nicely. These bombers cannot take a hit, though. They do have some armor plating, but it's only enough to stop 30 cal fire. And a majority of planes you'll fight will have 50 cal, 20mm cannon, and they will rip you a new arsehole. So what I recommend you do is scream in with your dive speed, drop your bombs, and get out. That's the best tactic to fly these aircraft. That's the best way I found them to work. Then you come over to the M model, and obviously you can see a couple of differences already. And by a couple, I mean the engines. These are 2 DB603A engines, and well, they're a lot more powerful. They're a bit more powerful than the BMW 801s, but they also increase the aircraft's level flight speed at high altitude and also its dive speed. These engines are so much better than the BMW 801s, that I will say. Armament-wise, the 217M only changes in one aspect, and that's the front gun. They for some reason decided to change it to a 13mm. I see it as a bit of a downgrade. Let me know what you think. But otherwise, you do get 2 torpedoes on both the K and the M, and these are pretty dog shit, not gonna lie, don't bother using them. They are, well, they might be handy for naval, if you're interested in that. So hello, Fo, I know you love your German destroyers and things like that. This plane could be useful for you. 2 torpedoes. Drop speed is about 187 miles an hour, so you do have to slow this thing down quite considerably, and with these 2 powerhouses, it's going to be quite difficult. So, I'm going to show you a battle today in the K, which also shows that Gaijin appear to not listen to criticism for 3 years straight. We get killed by AAA again, so that doesn't surprise me. Honestly though, I really don't understand why Gaijin has not listened to us. We've been telling them that the well, the AAA has been broken for years now, and it's just stupid. The problem is with Gaijin nowadays, they just don't think about anything. They're just greedy. But nonetheless, I did have fun spading these bombers, and on Sicily, this is exactly what I do. I did it in the E model, I do it in the K, and I do it in the M. There are 2 E models. The E model is actually pretty fun. The E4 is going to be a favourite one, I'll tell you that right now. The E1's okay, the K1 is good, the M1's good, but they just don't have good defensive armament or offensive armament. The K and the M don't even have it. In the E model, you used to have a 20mm MG151 with 250 rounds, and when I used to drop my bombs across here, spading those, I'd clean up a ground target on the way out with a 20mm. It was handy towards spading, it always helped. Those little extra points always help. That's why, if you're going to spade one of these 217K, or either the K or the M, I'd say the K model, because you can potentially clean up a ground target on the way out with that front turret. The M model just doesn't have the firepower to do it. The K can possibly do it. So we're screaming in at 420 miles an hour. I've just let the team know where I'm going. Obviously, at this time I wasn't actually chat banned. Honestly, okay, chat banned was pretty dang funny. I got chat banned Spade in the M, not the K. Although I nearly did get chat banned Spade in the K. Snowflakes, I tell you. But yeah, I did use the torpedoes on the K model, so I don't know how easier it is to lower your speed. And any second now, we're going to take a hit from AAA, if I remember rightly. Yep, there we go. And it's just blown the right aileron off, damaged both engines slightly, wounded most of the crew, and severely affected my flight performance. However, I don't care, I'm dropping my bombs anyway, and we got 10 tanks in that one run. Now the thing is about 217, it doesn't like high speed maneuvers. And when you've lost an aileron, you tend to feel it a bit more. I wasn't actually sure what hit me at the time, but it was actually a AAA gun, just up on the hill. It sniped me at 420 miles an hour as I was screaming in. That isn't the worst that the AAA is going to be for us. I'll tell you that right now. Trust me, the M model had it worse. But I said, right, well, it's going to take more than an aileron to make me crash a plane, so I'm going to get this thing back. And I do. But the friendly indie, well, funny killer who was commenting on like Bravo and things like that, he is going to get shot down by an F-82. He's also wondering why he didn't get as many tanks as me. That convoy on the right hand side is pretty poor for ground attacking. You always want to hit the left column. And with these 217 speed, you can do it. And most of the time, you won't get intercepted. But obviously, level flight speed, obviously, we are damaged, so you've got to take that into consideration, but level flight speed isn't that bad. So, it's really the dive speed where the 217 shines, and you can easily push this airframe to about 430 before you risk breaking your wings off. With the M model, you can push 450, so it can do really well in a dive, that's for certain. But obviously we are damaged, so we are going to have to nurse the plane home, because obviously we're out of bombs, we can't exactly do anything else with the turrets. And to be honest, I did go for a ground target with the front turret because I didn't even think at the time. I was too busy focusing on, well, we've been hit by something, we need to get back. Obviously, many people are going to ask, is the 217s in the tree a worthy upgrade, or a worthy optional, instead of paying for a 288? Personally, if you like defensive armament, you're going to want to go with a 288. But for more versatile and bigger bomb loads, for the most part, you're going to want to go with the 217s. And I can already hear the 288 pilots screaming. Trust me. You'll know what I mean. I mean, the 288 is faster, yes. But I think its maximum bomb load is like, what? Let me think. Its maximum bomb load is... I'm trying to think now. Well, I know it's 2 Satans, which is 3,600 kilo, but obviously you've got to take into account explosive mass. And in total, the 217 actually carries more. The only thing is, though, is that the 217 drops 2 bombs at the same time. Obviously, the external and then the internal, which are singular. Yep, coming into land, and if you ever want to land a 217 quickly, do it this way. Land it on the nose. The lower gunner will die, but that's no big deal. He'll respawn. He's Hans. He's a special man. And we're safely stopped. But yes, if you think that AAA hit earlier on was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. The worst part, the AAA gun that kills me, spoiler alert, isn't even a proper AAA gun. It's a light AAA gun, which normally is armed with like a 50 cal or something. And I've been noticing those light AAA guns have been increasing dramatically in power. So you're going to want to keep your eyes out, basically. But anyway, obviously, I'm going to be jaying out of the plane in the battle right now to load up 8 250 kilo bombs. The plan was, I was originally going to go 2850s, but then I noticed a teammate of mine started cleaning up the light targets, so I thought it wasn't worth loading up some small bombs to deal with some targets when I could just load up the 8 250s and do it this way. So at the moment there is a Spitfire near our runway, but our team's moving in to deal with him. One other note, if you do need to emergency land a 217, don't bother putting your gear down. The gear takes the mic to come down. So I'll skip ahead towards, well, our death, because Gaijin. So, coming over the targets now, obviously doing some decent speed with about 273. The only thing that's left on the enemy team are 2 B-17s, one of which is an E, L, and one of which is a G. I need to spade both of those, so God help me. But you're about to see just how stupid the AAA actually is. Bear in mind, there's a 288 over there and there's a 335 with the 30 mils, which are killing tanks. I'm not going for tanks initially. I opened bomb bay doors, and it was at this moment I probably should have loaded up the 2850s, but I didn't think at the time. And well, you're about to see what I mean about broken AAA. For some reason I dropped 2 bombs. I think I dropped one earlier on. Yes, I did. That's 12 ground targets. Now, it's not this AAA gun that you're going to want to pay attention to. There's an AA gun just around here. I think it's that one there. And yeah, it sets us afire in a single shot. Little tip for you 217 pilots. If that fuel tank or that fuel tank gets set on fire, you're dead. Don't even bother trying to put it out. I tried to put it out, but yeah. Gaijin just hates bomber pilots and ground attackers, it seems. But yep, I'm not going to do another rant about that bullshit, but Gaijin, please. We've been begging you for nearly 4 fucking years, it feels like. I know it's been going on longer than 3, but it feels like nearly 4 fucking years that we've been asking for AAA to be nerfed. And if a light AA gun can down a 217 just like that, nah. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's review on the 217K and the M. Obviously, I'm not doing a video on the M, because they're pretty much exactly the same. It's just an engine and frontal armament change. Out of the 2 variants, you probably want to go with the M because of its higher speed and better engines. Another point to note, if you do want to use 217s in ground forces, the K can get back to base on one engine, the M can get back to base on one engine, the E models cannot. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, these planes are definitely worth spading. They are definitely worth your time. And if you get a decent result like this, you'll get some decent points towards your spade. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one, and I hope you enjoyed.